The Northwest High Court is today expected to hand down judgment in the fraud case against former Finance MEC Wendy Nelson and ex-Health HOD Thabo Lekalakala. The two are facing fraud charges relating to the appointment of Lekalakala as Superintendent-General at the Department of Health. For the latest on this story, I'm joined by Bafedile Moerane, who has been tracking this story for us. So what to expect throughout the course of this morning, Bafedile?
Well, today and tomorrow to do the Northwest High Court, it is set to present the judgment against the former HOD Thabo Lekalakala and the former MEC for Finance Wendy Nelson. So what we understand with Wendy Nelson is that she was the head of the panelists at the time when they interviewed Thabo Lekalakala, but she failed to notify the then Premier Supra Mahumapelo after being notified during the interview that Lekalakala has actually misrepresented his information on the Z83 form. This is how the former MEC is getting involved in this particular case. Then, clearly, Lekalakala has actually presented the wrong documents, misinformation to the panelists there that he has certain qualifications to qualify as the HOD of the department. Now he's facing fraud charges amounting to 8 million, which was the remuneration. But to get more clarity and more details regarding this particular case, I have invited the NPA spokesperson in the Northwest, Henry Mamutame, to give us more details as to who has been called in this particular case as the witnesses, because we understand that the former MEC Mahome Masike was also part of the people that have been called to come to this particular case. Rema Mutame, thank you so much for joining us. Firstly, are you confident as the NPA that you have a strong case against the former HOD Thabo Lekalakala as well as the former MEC for Finance here in the Northwest, Wendy Nelson, because we know this particular case has been delayed, looking into the fact that your head of NPA in the Northwest, Janet Nevling, who was heading this particular case, had to be removed from it as she's facing shoplifting charges at the Mabato Magistrates Court. And what is it that you've presented as the NPA before the court to convince the court that these people should be held accountable?
Thank you, Buff. First of all, when we enroll a matter, any matter in the court roll, we do it because we believe there's sufficient evidence for it to be heard in court. So to answer you, I think in a straightforward way, yes, we are confident with the evidence that has been presented in court throughout the trial. We believe it's sufficient for us to can persuade, for a win in this matter. We believe there was wrongdoing and people must be punished for that. And yes, you're correct, there were delays created by Ms. Nevling going through the justice criminal system herself for her case that we all know about. And the NPA had to appoint a new team to take over this matter. So they had to be given time to go through all the documents and apply their minds. And they may have had a different view on the approach, but lucky for us, they also continued with the momentum. And they believe that we have sufficient evidence to can continue with trial on this case.
Well, we understand that the former MEC, Mahome Masike, was also part of the witnesses. What information have you presented as the NPA, to say these people are in the wrong side of the law, in particular the former MEC of Finance, because we understand she was the head of the panelists there, and then she did not basically inform the former Northwest Supra Mahumapelo about the wrong information he got from Thabo Lekalakala. What more else do we have against her or Thabo Lekalakala in this regard?
I will not delve much on the merits or demerits of the case. They are well known. It's been an open court session, open court trial. Of course, we had reliable witnesses. Some of them were part of the panel. Some of them were able to give us information based on the knowledge that they have and the experience that they've spent with either Mr. Lekalakala to can say to us yes, there's misrepresentation in terms of the documents that were, or the experience that was noted in the application that Mr. Lekalakala submitted. So you are correct. We had witnesses to testify to that account. So we believe it was sufficient enough and reasonable enough to can prosecute them on this matter.
Well, this is Henry Mamutame. He's the spokesperson of NPA. The court will start at 10 o'clock there. We're expecting Wendy Nelson and Thabo Lekalakala to make their way very soon. This is the reason why the former MEC for Finance, Wendy Nelson, had to step aside in line with the step-aside rule of the African National Congress from the provincial legislature there. So we are expecting the judgment to take place from today and tomorrow. We will hear from them, the court here, as to whether they are indeed on the wrong side of the law with the information that has been presented before the court by the NPA. Dudu.
We'll be back to find out those details a little bit later on. Bafedile Moerane in the Northwest.